Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews. Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're going to take a look at another X-Men Marvel Legends figure. It's Mr. Sinister. Now, this guy is a fan favorite of mine from the X-Men comics growing up, one of my favorite villains. I was really excited that he was coming out in this line. I found this figure at my local Think Geek here in the Greenwood Park Mall. Big shout out to Javon. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. He did a great job at the store there, helping me out with the figures and stuff. I gotta say though, paint on this guy was kind of sketchy. I had to go through a few of them to find the right paint app because the teeth were just terrible. So be aware of that if you're looking for him. Other than that little gripe, it looks pretty cool. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging. So here we have Mr. Sinister in the packaging, and he looks really, really cool. It's a nice big hefty figure, which is cool. It's got his cape, it's got the Wendigo arm, and that's about it. Got the X-Men logo up there. Side's got Mr. Sinister, and it looks like fire, looking all kinds of creepy. So just kind of a close-up. There he is, looking cool. Yep, and then here's the artwork on the side. Looks nice. Back of the package, very similar to the other stuff in this wave. We get some nice comic book art of Mr. Sinister right there, a little write-up, all the other figures in this wave. I'll probably go ahead and build this, as I've got half of them now anyway. I almost got Captain Canuck there, but I got some Star Wars figures instead. Definitely want Cannonball. Boom Boom's kind of meh, and so is the Wolverine, but again, I want to build a bath, so I'll probably get them at some point. If you want to pause and read that write-up, you are more than welcome to. And yeah, there is the artwork. And then here are all the other figures in that wave. So yeah, definitely looks pretty darn cool. That's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Mr. Sinister out of box and see what we think. So here we have Mr. Sinister out of the packaging, and I have to say, I love this figure. Now, I know it's basically a redux of a lot of different parts, but it's really cool. He's always been one of my favorite characters from the comics and the animated series, and well, to have him in plastic form is amazeballs. Now, he does come with the right arm to, I want to say Yeti, but that's not right. It's the Wendigo. Man, I could not think of the name of that character. And I don't know, it kind of looks like a white version of the Sasquatch character, which I'm sure it's probably a remold, but it's pretty durable. I like the color on it. Looks nice. A single jointed elbow there, twist at the wrist. It's got a hinge on the wrist, and then there is a twist at the upper arm. So, yeah, kind of interesting. Throw that back to the side and taking a look at Sinister himself. Essentially, this is the same mold. I want to say it's the Hyperion mold, but I might be wrong. It looks about the same that we got with Venom, except we get some new lines. I swear this hand is definitely a Venom hand. He's got a kind of gnarly little face. As far as, I mean, I love the cape. Oh. But as far as articulation goes, his head does move back and forth. Looks down really, really far, which is nice. Doesn't look up much at all, primarily because of the cowl. He's got an ab crunch that goes down that far. Looks pretty far up, even though he's got the cape there. His arms do go up and down. His shoulder pads are soft rubber, so they do move. The arms do move up like that. There's a twist at the upper arm, a very stiff double jointed elbow, which is nice. The wrist does twist and has a hinge, which is cool. There is a twist at the waist. The belt is a separate piece, but it's very tight around it, so it's not loose at all. The legs, if I can focus here, legs do kick up that far. They don't kick back very far at all, which is a bit unfortunate. There is a twist at the upper thigh, which is kind of nice. Let's see. They kick outward really, really far, which is pretty cool. He does have a double jointed knee right there. Again, if I can get him to focus, which is pretty cool. There is a twist right here at the upper boot, which is nice. And then he's got hinges on his feet right there, and he's got that crazy ankle rocker pivot we love! With this being his widest possible stance with both feet flat on the floor, and that's really because of the cape. The legs do sweep out farther, but that cape prevents him from going any lower. He just wants to fall over, so pretty impressive. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I love the sculpt, love the paint. I will say that it was very difficult to find a good paint scheme on this guy. I went through about, I don't know, 2 or 3 of them before I found one that was good, so be aware of that, especially if you order it online. The cape, perfect. I love how it kind of goes up and instantly down. All of the sculpt work into the cape, and then how it kind of breaks down into the individual capelet strands. Absolutely amazing. I mean, this guy looks like the Jim Lee incarnation that we got in the comics back in the 90s and in the animated series. I mean, he just looks like Mr. Sinister, and that's amazing! So taking a closer look at the midsection of the figure, again, love the sculpt, love the kind of really dark blue shimmery paint on his body, the red belt, he's got the claws on his fingers, the nice kind of dark blue matte finish gloves look really cool, the red on the inner part of the cape, the dark blue on the other side, and again, the sculpt work with this cape, and it's like multi-layers. It's like 2 different capes to make all these different little ridges, which is amazing. I definitely like the way it looks. Just very, very well sculpted. Great design by the toy artist, so kudos to you, sir, and it looks cool. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure, again, nice sculpt, love the paint, like the boots, the dark blue, kind of go all the way up, his mid-shift there, very nice. All of the little frays at the bottom of the cape, they just kind of look like little noodles, and I like it. I don't know why, I just love it to death. You know, in the color pattern where it's that nice dark deep red on one side and all this blue on the other, just looks really, really cool. And again, it just strikes that character from the comics in the 90s. For comparison, here we have Mr. Sinister next to Beta Ray Bill, and he's actually a little bit bigger than Beta Ray Bill, which is pretty cool because, hey, he's Mr. Sinister. He should be a big, nasty mutant. Just a wee bit taller in the shoulders and his head. Obviously, a little bit taller there. The cape is much more pronounced. But it's pretty cool to see these 2 larger scaled Marvel Legends figures sitting side by side. So is the Marvel Legends Mr. Sinister a figure that you want in your X-Men collection? Absolutely. He's one of my favorite villains, and I know he's a big fan favorite in the comics. We have not gotten a really good Mr. Sinister for many, many years. The Toy Biz one was pretty cool, but I think this just looks a lot better. The cape is amazing. He's got that standard kind of big body mold, which is cool. All the little frills on the back of that cape, man, I can't get over that. But the paint scheme, the shimmery blue on it, that kind of dead clown cake makeup white with the dark reds, everything just looks really, really cool and says Mr. Sinister. So there he is, Mr. Sinister from Marvel Legends.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.